Hi, hello, kia ora, welcome to my channel. You are with Paula from Moxie Mojo. Today I am sharing my latest journal. Now this is a gift for my daughter-in-law for her birthday. By the time this video has been published, she will have her journal, but I just wanted to do a quick flick through before I give it to her this afternoon. It has turned out better than I was hoping it would, which is really awesome. So let me know down in the comments if you think I should make another one to sell. So here we go. This is an Eeyore themed journal. I was told Christmas that she was a fan of Eeyore, so I've spent 3 months researching and finding images. Now, Winnie the Pooh, the original book by A.A. Milne, has now come out of copyright, so I found copies of the text and the original images on the Gutenberg Project website and downloaded them from there, and have been able to use those in the journal for decoration. So the cover itself is covered entirely in this grey felt, so it has quite a textured surface and feels soft, so I absolutely love that part of it, and think it's absolutely adorable. He's of course got his Eeyore ears, which are lined in the mauve, and his googly eyes, which just make it even more adorable, and the eyelids of course are quite dimensional as well. I sewed the 5 signatures through the spine, but you can't see that because it's hidden underneath this fringing. I was originally thinking about putting black fur down here, but I couldn't find any that I liked, but I actually prefer the fringing look. It gives it that, additional retro look that just makes the journal. And this is a vintage wooden button with a shank that I've sewn into the tail, and the tail itself acts, or is designed to act as, a bookmark. So that's got the little wee pink bow and tassels to match. So I'll just include that, I'll leave that on the outside, and it is designed so that it dangles, below the book. As you can see, it is full of a lot of goodness. I have used a lot of leftovers from kits, as well as a lot of images that I downloaded years ago and have printed, but now haven't been able to confirm the copyright of them and whether the site that I downloaded from has got angel policies or not. So they are images that I would not use in a journal that is for sale, because I don't know if I have the the copyright in order to sell them. So I'm just getting rid of the images that I've printed off, and because it's a gift to a family member, I'm no qualms using them that way, whereas I wouldn't use them in a journal that I've got for sale. So that's just a conscious effort that I've made not to use those images, because I am aware of the effort that designers put into producing their digital kits. So we'll open the journal and try and quickly go through it. All the covers have also got felt in them. They've actually got a double layer, because when I've sort of turned it over from the front and the back, there was quite a hollow in here, and I just felt that rather than having like a dip in the middle, I padded that out, and it feels quite scrunchy there. Well, not scrunchy, it feels quite scrummy, like nice and soft, and very much what I thought like the Eeyore plush toy or stuffed toy would feel like. I used the purple from the mauve from the ears to line the spine as well. Now every signature has been created with similar ephemera and similar ways, so you'll see those as I go through. I'll kind of touch on them, but each signature has got a page that has been like dipped on the ends, and that was using Distress Oxide in Seedless Preserves. Turned out a little bit pinker than I was hoping for, but I still like them. So I dipped the either ends of the A4 copy of paper, and then I've also done the same with this grey, and that was pumice stone. So you'll see those throughout. I've kept to some common themes as much as possible. So we've of course got Eeyore being the main one, and you'll see images from the Gutenberg project and quotes, his favourite or famous or best quotes from Eeyore. Some which are so sarcastic, a lot which are really depressing, but overall they're just totally adorable in Eeyore. I've tried to stick to vintage style or like older images, particularly those around children and like Victorian children, just because that relates to it being, Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore type thing. So you'll see images from children reading. Because of the 100 Acre Wood map I've included, I've got a lot of map references as well. So that's probably the main things. I will mention some of the designers that I know I have used. Susan Taylor Brown, Poppiness. I've used Nick the Booksmith. There is some, I think there's some Took's Craft Table. There's, I think, some Artie Mays. There is, I think, some Tracy Fox. There is some Victoria Designs. And where I know specifically which kit it is, I will link those in the description box. Otherwise, I will link those designers because they deserve kudos for all the images that I've used, and I use throughout my books in general. One thing that I will comment is that I tend to buy kits that are very generic. They're not generally on a specific theme, so that I can use the bits across multiple journals, and that's why you'll see a lot of the bits and pieces that I've put in there. I don't necessarily know who the designer was, because, for instance, I put all my insects into a container labelled insects, and they could be from multiple designers. Same with like labels, same with like numbers, words, etc. Everything gets lumped together. So this is just a loose piece of paper that I can't remember who it was from. I don't know if it was a freebie, might have been, but then I've got an altered paper clip to match the bow that was just using some of the scraps. It's not much of a tail, but I'm sort of attached to it. Now, all of the quotes I typed in by hand using a vintage typewriter that I've got, one of those little portable ones. One thing I didn't realise is that I can't fit A4 papers landscape in, so I had to put them in folded in half. So that meant I just needed to be aware of which way round I put the paper in and whether, you know, up or down. So it did require a little bit of thought. And of course, where I'm used to being able to send to text across the page with my computer, there was none of that, so it was all guesswork. So you'll see there might be one or two that are off centre because, yeah, it was guesswork. And I also had to find some whiteout for one or two mistakes. And again, little wee things that we just take for granted these days using our computers. So there is some tea and coffee dyed paper in here as well. These are stickers that I've made using printables, which I've printed onto inkjet A4 size sticker paper. The kits that I used, one was from Susan Taylor Brown, which is the coloured florals, and the black and white was from Nick the Booksmith. And I just love the way, you know, they're so transparent and you can see like the lines of that underneath. Each signature has got a book page envelope in it, and inside is a journal card, and these were some from the Young Readers kit, I think it was, from Susan Taylor Brown. It's Poppiness. I just love the images, and I printed those onto a light card just so they'd have a little bit of weight to them. Butterfly images, I can't remember who they're from. They're one of the designers I mentioned. Labels and numbers, again, could be from any one of the designers. The postage tags were some, you know, freebies that I downloaded years ago, so I'm just clearing those excuse me, out of my stash. And I've used seam binding that I dyed with Lindy's spray, and these were just scraps or lengths that I had sitting in my stash that were just coloured, various colours. So unfortunately I can't tell you what colour they are. This was the first of the images that I downloaded from the Gutenberg project. One thing I did find was that as I enlarged and printed them, they came out quite pixelated. So I went through and went over some of the lines using the smallest water brush I have and Derwent Inktense pencil, just to like give the lines some depth, and particularly on the outline, smooth those out so they didn't look quite so pixelated. But that's one thing you do need to be aware of where you are downloading some older images. The quality may not be the same that you're used to. And so I went through, and it took quite some time to add some depth to these images. Any of the purpley blue pages, including some of the ledger papers, were dyed using red cabbage, so that gave them a bluey purple colour. And then I sprayed some coffee or tea on top to add some brown to the mix there as well. I never get my hopes up, so I never get let down. I've included a lot of altered paper clips, whether they are the bows or these ones here, and I've just used bits out of my stash. The fabric was from a rolled cotton rug that I bought and then pulled apart. The dragonfly, I think, is from one of Susan's kits, printable kits. Might have been Dragonfly Days, I think it was. Pockets, I think these are from Victoria Designs, but I could be wrong on those. With journal cards, another of the young readers, and one of the vintage children. These are copier paper that I dyed in tea and coffee, and then also added some splatters of watercolour paint while they were still wet. Not sure who this pocket comes from. Probably one of the freebies from along the way. I think this might be a low ink usage image from Took's Craft Table, and just one of the old free printables from somewhere. Images from the Gutenberg project. They're funny things, accidents. You never have them till you're having them. These journal cards, and there's some larger ones, are from Premium Marketing journal card packs. And these altered paper clips were just some random 6x6 paper that I cut up. I couldn't see myself using them in journal books because the images were just too much to use, or I didn't like them. But cut up into like smaller pieces for ephemera, they do like match quite well. So that's something to just have a think of when you do buy some paper packs with pages that you're not that, pleased or happy with, and you probably wouldn't use them elsewhere. So that's one of the stickers from the Nick the Booksmith. This is an altered paper clip. Now these tags here were gift tags that I got in a magazine that I bought. I didn't think I would use them on gifts, so I put them into my craft stash. I've just gone around the edge with distressing and vintage photo, and then they had like sort of punched tags on them, so I've just sealed those so that they don't tear using some of my faux vintage tape. And I've also put that on the edges of some of the pages where they were torn from the tea and coffee dyeing process as well. And that just kind of aged them up, because when you see the back of them, it's quite modern. So I just wanted to cover that a little bit. Threw in some thread, numbers. I think that's Victoria Designs. This was, I think, a freebie. The map, butterflies, I think were either Artie Mays or Tracy Fox. WOL, that spells owl. Another Gutenberg project image. Now this is an envelope that is a flap on this side, and I've adhered the actual envelope flap down this edge and then just on the very point, and that's turned it into a belly band. This was, I think, a freebie image that I've just adhered down on sort of this side of the heart, and then I can use that as a tuck spot as well. And I think this was a freebie printable. A whole lot of envelope faces, you'll see those as I go through. My apologies if I've got that wrong. Doily with just a collection of little tickets and things, and in there is one of the vintage young girl images just from my stash. That's one of the Premium Marketing journal cards with another one of my altered paper clips. So you see the same here, just repeated. Could be worse, not sure how, but it could be. This is a coin envelope. I've adhered it down onto the page, and then where it seals was still a bit sticky, so I've just put some vintage seller, you know, that faux vintage sellotape on top. And then this is a printable of just a menu. Printed that and just put it in, slid it in, and holding it in place with the faux bow on the paper clip, just for some extra journaling space, even though there's a lot in there. When your tail is missing, remember you have every right to mope. Another sticker from Nick the Booksmith. This was a sample of a altered paper clip that I think I saw Pam at the Paper Outpost did a tutorial. I did a quick sample and it was sitting on my desk and the colours matched, so it's now in the journal. Doilies, journal card from Prima Marketing, some of the images. You think you can depend on tails, you don't expect tails to go wrong. This is one of the few sort of modern looking images, pocket, and I can't remember where that's from, but I just liked it. It sort of matched with the blue and also the butterflies, which I've got sort of throughout the journal, just kind of matched, and I thought that was just quite nice, so that's kind of why that made it in. Another one of the pockets, tag and journal card with an altered paper clip. Now this was a little wee sweet bag that was so big. I trimmed the bottom off and folded it up and then used it just as a background. This die cut was from a disposable paint palette and it had some paint left on it, and I thought it looked really cool the way it was sitting on the paint palette, so I've die cut that out. And this was from a scrap from the Christmas bags that I jelly printed. So I've used that and page number, so all sorts going on there. The sky has finally fallen. Always knew it would. Another of the altered paper clips with the map, and that's one of the gift tags from the magazine. Thread and fabric. Sticker image from Susan Taylor Brown. This envelope, when I put it in, I just adhered it on the sides and that turned it into a belly band. Just something different, a bit more room in there. Don't worry about me, go and enjoy yourself. I'll stay here and be miserable. Another journal card, another one of the vintage girl images and map tag, which you've seen before. Don't blame me if it rains. This envelope I put in just as a pocket near the top because I wanted the tag to sit up and just break that page line so that, you know, added interest there. Couple of journal cards there. I love the colour of this sticker image. It just matched perfectly the way the ink turned out there. Now here you can see some of the bleed through from the map. This is the centre of the centre signature. So this is the third of 5 signatures. And I just went around the outside, this little wee title here and Eeyore, just to focus on that. But you can see probably in this image the most at that sort of digital or pixelated look. But I didn't want to go through or spend too much time on this because going through all these images was, you know, multiple hours worth of work. And I didn't want to overdo the map, but still include it. Another pocket with some journal cards. Now this was a printable of a ledger page. I think it might have been a freebie, and I've just folded it in half and put it on either side of the page, and I think that looks really quite cool, held in place with an altered paper clip. Wish I could say yes, but I can't. This is an envelope that I've just tucked the flap over the side. I haven't adhered it this time. I think it was an envelope from Took's Craft Table, and I've included a journaling card in there. More stickers. I was so upset I forgot to be happy. Not much of a house, just right for not much of a donkey. This envelope I attached on the side and adhered top and bottom of the flap to create a tuck spot, and again put another sort of page, journaling page in there, held in place with another one of the altered paper clips. And then there's an image inside this envelope as well. And I love kind of this retro look of the envelope, so I left it as it was. These were some I just picked up at like the Emporium shop. The nicest thing about the rain is that it stops eventually. Another journal card from Prima. Sticker from Nick the Booksmith. Some more of the images. This is one of the few images that I didn't touch at all. Oh no, I think I might, did I? No, I didn't touch that one at all. This envelope I put on sideways so it can be accessed from here. A couple of images in it. But also turned it into a tuck spot by just gluing down the side and the bottom. And left plenty of room for putting things in there. End of the road. Nothing to do and no hope of things getting better. Another envelope, tuck spot in the corner tuck, and I just love this little wee girl. She reminds me of my late cousin. She had that sort of chubby face and that cheeky grin. I just absolutely love that image, and I think that's one of the young readers from Susan Taylor Brown. A tail isn't a tail to them, it's just a little bit extra in the back. This pocket was made from the roll-off page from my brayer from jelly printing. You just had like a sheet of copy of paper that I was rolling off my brayer onto, and I love the colours that were coming out, and also like the different textures that it showed. So I've kept all of these and torn them up into strips, and I use them in different things, different journals. Sometimes they go into collages, on pages or on ephemera. I just love the way that they look. And I just thought the mauve kind of went, I mean it's not an exact colour, but it did go really well with the colour of the journal. Another one of the altered paper clips. This one I've put a mini envelope on there. I made a whole lot up. I think that might be from Nick the Booksmith, one of her freebies. Doily with one of the stickers on it. And this is the final signature. So the last of the floral stickers in the colour. It's snowing still and freezing. However, we haven't had an earthquake lately. That one seemed quite appropriate, as we do often have earthquakes here in New Zealand. This is a set of 3 mini tags from Susan Taylor Brown. It's a patchwork days, I think, kit. I had the 3 little wee tags left over, so I've just covered the book page of the paper clip with these. So I put them all onto string, spread them out and glued them in place, and I think that looks really cute. Another one of Took's envelopes with journal card inside. No need to bother on my account. This was an altered lolly bag or sweetie bag. I adhered it on the 3 sides so that there's a pocket behind. There's a tuck, of course, from the bag itself. I've used a jelly print that when I pulled it off the page it actually tore, but I really like the colours in it, so I kept the bits that I could, so that I could use them in journals and on ephemera as much as possible. This is a book page that I coloured with different Distress Oxide dyes, inks rather, including Wilted Violet and I think it was Salty Ocean in there a little bit. And then these are scraps from papers that I had. These 2 I know are from Victoria Designs. I just finished an album for my daughter for Christmas, and I had some scraps left over, so I'll include a link to the video about that as well as the kits, because they're gorgeous kits. They're on like fortune telling, so there's a lot of like crystals and sort of spiritual images in there. And this large dragonfly, I think, was from Susan Taylor Brown's Dragonfly Days or Dreams kit. And that was from one of the ephemera pages. But I really love the colouring and how it all just went together. And was inspired by this page here with the purple paint. I love this image of the young reader with her dad. So included that in the pocket, kind of set up like before. We're getting to almost our last images of Eeyore. This was a card, a journaling card, also left over from my daughter's journal. I think it was from Victoria Designs, but I will check on that. It's another scrap of that paper from the envelope, from the lolly bag, and that was a scrap that I die cut from trialing some alcohol ink on some shiny card to see whether it would work. This envelope I lined with book paper. I think it was Victoria Designs envelope, and I've just coloured that with Distress Oxide ink, I think it was, in Vintage Photo, and then he just included a couple of journal cards in there. And these are some leftover journal cards from Susan Taylor Brown's Patchwork Dreams kit. Again, I'll include the link for that down below because my mind is failing me. Another sheet of ledger paper just included. It's the only cloud in the sky and it's drizzling right on me. Somehow I'm not surprised. And the final image of Eeyore sitting on the riverbank looking very depressed. That just seemed quite appropriate there. Another journal card. Pocket sideways with a tag, and of course there's an image inside. And then the last page of the journal is thanks for noticing me. Probably one of the most positive yet depressing statements that Eeyore makes. So this is the completed journal. I hope you love it as much as what I do. I am just so over the moon at it. Kept on stuffing more and more into it as I made it, so that it's now alligator mouth. But I hope my daughter loves it. And as I said, yeah, if she doesn't, then I will be keeping it for myself. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this. If you've made something similar, then include a link down below so I can go and have a look at it. If you think I should make another one and sell it, let me know down below, because I'm torn as to whether I should or not. If you feel like subscribing to my channel and you haven't done already, then please click the subscribe button. You can click the bell to be notified of when I put my next video up. It is free, there's no charge to you. Whatever you do, have fun and enjoy your crafting.